Thank you for joining us again today. I'm really happy you're here, and hopefully, you've found these videos both inspiring and encouraging as we've been going through the scriptures together. I'm really grateful again that you're here today. Today's reading comes from First Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 10 through 12. Just a couple of verses, but in verse 10, it starts off by saying, "You are witnesses, and God also, how holy and righteous and blameless was our conduct towards you believers." Now, that word witnesses is there. In the Old Testament, in order to verify whether something was true or not, there had to actually be at least two witnesses present to verify something was true. So, Paul here using the Thessalonians as one group of witnesses, but also using God as another witness. And those words, holy, righteous, and blameless, that's one of those pieces in scripture that really jump out to me when I'm reading it. And I tend to pause and ask myself, Lord, do these qualities describe me currently? Would the people around me in my life consider me holy, righteous, and blameless? And a lot of times, quite honestly, a lot of things come to mind where there's instances where maybe I haven't demonstrated those things. And I always stop in scripture like this and pray and quite honestly ask God to reveal areas in my life that where I haven't demonstrated these things, and ask for forgiveness for those times I fall short. And I think this is a good thing for all of us to do, because as long as Christ is our aim, his perfection, we all have room to grow and improve in our Christian walk, in our daily lives, and especially in our encounters with other people. So things like this, good place to stop and pray accordingly, however the Spirit leads you to do that. So just want to encourage you, if you're not doing that when you're reading Scripture, you find yourself just going from A to B to get there as fast as you can, take a moment in passages like this and stop and ask for the Lord to help grow you in these areas if indeed you see you're falling short. So then he picks up here in verse 11. "For you know how, like a father with his children, we exhorted each one of you and encouraged you and charged you to walk in a manner worthy of God, who calls you into his own kingdom and glory." So uh, now that's a real tender gesture he makes there, how he says, like a father with his children. And I don't know if you've ever been used by God to help steer and lead someone else to Christ, maybe come alongside a new believer to encourage them or exhort them in the faith. Uh, if so, you would know what that relationship feels like. It's a very tender, unique relationship. I don't have any biological children of my own, but I can tell you this, that when you're involved in discipleship, especially with a new believer, there's such an endearing that happens in that relationship. You almost, what I could possibly relate it to is like a father with a son. And we see Paul does that over and over with Timothy. He calls him his beloved son in the faith. And he's very endeared to these Thessalonian believers as well. And the question is he's encouraging them and charging them to walk in a manner worthy of God. So again, these are moments in scripture where we can stop and ask the Lord to bring people to mind, maybe that need encouragement, that need to be built up. Maybe they're going through a rough patch. Maybe they're even doing great. Don't ever assume that somebody doesn't need to be encouraged. We should always be encouraging people. And just because I might say that I don't have the gift of encouragement doesn't mean that I don't have to maybe work harder at it. So think about people in your life. The Lord will bring people to mind, and take a moment out of your day. I mean, the Lord's given you the day, so take a moment to stop and encourage other believers, especially those who are new in the faith, to keep fighting the good fight, and to especially to walk in a manner worthy of the calling of God. Whoever that is, pick up the phone today and call a brother or sister and encourage them. Thank you for joining us today. God bless you guys. See you next time.